For about 10 years of my life, I was getting blisters all the time, and it was a real pain. I couldn't really go hiking very much until I found Brooks. They are the best fitting shoe for my foot. This one right here is the Cascadia 12, and I have put a couple hundred miles on this thing, and it has been great. But it's starting to wear out, and that's why I wanted to step up to the Cascadia 15. Let's open up this box here. I have not worn these yet, so we will take a look at them before I get them nice and dirty on the trail. I am not a professional shoe reviewer. I just want to give you my thoughts on the 15 versus the old 12s here. And you can just make your decision on whether or not this is the shoe for you based on what you see here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the shoe. It's got an aggressive tread here on the bottom. I like that a lot. Seems like it's going to do quite well. The previous model I had issues with, I think it was this one, separating a little bit. Nope, wrong one. Yeah, right there. Starting to separate in through here, and that may have the same kind of issue since it's just glued in there. But the Gore-Tex on the previous model worked out very well. I walked into puddles all the time and never had an issue with the Gore-Tex leaking, so very pleased with that. So one thing in the 12s I should say, that was a big issue for me is the way they had turned under this tongue here. So it's got this big knot right here. I don't know, probably not sure how well that shows up, but that right there would dig into the top of the foot, and it seems like already they have improved that on the 15s. So if I open this a bit more, that big knot seems like it's much smoother in there. So the tongue is kind of built in without that dip in there. It seems lighter. I haven't looked at the specs, but the 12 seems a lot heavier than the 15. I can tell you right now that the material right here on the front of the 12 was real thick with that extra thick toe right there. This one is a lot looser, and this material right here is much, much lighter. So hopefully these will last the couple of hundred miles that the other ones did. So let's take a look at everything. Get these laces undone. So just like the previous model, it's got a loop that pulls the very end of the footbed, so that can be tightened down nicely instead of just going straight across. So that's nice to have. You can lace these all the way up into right here. I think in the previous one I left that hole out, so that's the way I like it, is kind of the way it comes out of the box. Let's take a look at the height of the shoe. So if I line these up, this newer model seems like it is about a ½ inch taller, which is interesting. Most of the time I wear my shoes out first right here where my toes are a little wider than they need to be. And it looks like on the new 15s, they have added this extra little bit of rubber here to hopefully prevent that from blowing out as quickly. So on this one, it was only about a ½ inch tall, and this one here goes up almost an inch there, maybe a little bit more right up here. So that should be nice to help prevent that from blowing out as quick. The loop on the back does have a nice strong loop there, and on this model you can actually undo your Velcro. I'm assuming there's something that will fit into that. I'm not really sure what it is though. I don't do a lot of professional running. I mostly just hike in these, but the loop was really handy on the 12s. All right, let's try these on and walk around and see how well they do. Put these shoes on, walked around for about 30 minutes just to make sure they were going to fit my foot. They did. So the next day I hiked 6 miles with a fully loaded pack. A bit of a risky move, probably so. The first thing I noticed is that the left shoe, which is this one, made an awkward popping sound whenever I'd walk. I think it was this material right here, this rubber. It would just pop, 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 kind of like a flip-flop sound. But within about a mile on the trail, that went away. I guess it just had to break in that new shoe feel there. So anyway, traction was good. I stepped into some pretty good water. Yeah, it says Gore-Tex. We're gonna find out. So far, so good. And it was up maybe about mid-shoe and had no leaks whatsoever. So the Gore-Tex works as advertised. So they, I think, are a little bit softer on the inside than the Cascadia 12s, which means they will probably wear out faster. So after 3 years and a couple of 100 miles, my Cascadia 12s are wearing out right here on the toe and then back here on the heel. That's usually where I wear things out. So it's soft enough in here. I think I will get maybe 2/3 of those miles on this shoe. The Cascadia 12 Gore-Tex worked until I started wearing a hole straight through, and then obviously it stopped working. My opinion on this shoe, it is not quite as nice as the Cascadia 12 with that DNA forming insole, but it is still a nice shoe, and as comfort goes, typical of Brooks, it's the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn. So if you want to check these out, I have a link in the description down below. You can buy these in 1,000 different places, but I'll have a link down there for you to check them out. Thanks for watching. I'm Seth with Tools, Tech, and Gear. If you've enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you next time.